Hi everyone, it's Megan J, and I am here today to give you some pointers and some tips on how to get through the holiday season. Some of you guys may dread the holiday season coming up, and if you had a very rough year, you had different things like you lost a friend or family member, maybe you went through a divorce, maybe you have your kids that no longer live with you, or maybe you are a student that is now 18 and is out the house, but you no longer have your family around. Those are all different things that can impact how you feel about the holiday season. So I want you guys to stay tuned. I'm going to give you 9 ways that you can cope and manage the holiday season so that this can be one that's manageable and successful for you. Okay, so stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone. So the first thing that you can do to help you get through this holiday season is just to be realistic. Be realistic. Just because November is here and December is here and January will be here does not mean that your feelings and emotions are going to go away. Let's say you just lost a friend or family member. You go through a process of loss, you go through a process of grief, and there's certain stages that you have to go through. And just because it's the holiday season does not mean that you can put your emotions on hold to appease everyone. No, be realistic. It's okay that you're feeling what you're feeling, and it's actually healthy for you to be depressed if you just lost a mother, a father, a child, a friend, a coworker, whoever it may have been. Also, if you're going through a separation, if you're going through a divorce, that's considered a loss as well. So things are going to be different, and it's okay to feel a certain type of way. If you're accustomed to be around your friends and, your parents, well, yeah, your friends, your family, your parents, but you're away at college, you're going to feel some type of isolation. That's okay to have those feelings. But you have to be realistic about it. And as long as you can admit and you're in touch with your feelings that you're feeling, as long as you're able to acknowledge your feelings, then it's okay. Just know where you're at in the stage and don't feel obligated to be something else just to satisfy others. So that's the first thing. The next thing is just to be comfortable doing what you feel doing. So if you don't feel like getting together with a huge family, and a whole bunch of people, if you don't really feel like being around a whole bunch of people, that's okay. You don't have to be around a whole bunch of people. Do what makes you feel comfortable. People grieve and mourn and get through things the best way that they know how. For some, it's better for them to be around others. And for others, they just may need some space. They may not want everybody in their business. They may not want to feel like everybody's hovering over them. So do what you feel comfortable doing. If you want to go out of town or do something different, it's okay. So that will be the second thing, is just to know what you have the capacity to do and make plans to make that happen, as long as it's something that's healthy. So the third thing, I would recommend that you get involved with your community or your church, or do some type of volunteer work. During the holiday seasons, there are plenty of people that don't have friends or family to hang around or to be with. And a lot of times when you give back, whatever you were feeling at the moment, you no longer feel that way. It's something about there's just the joy and the peace of giving and providing to others. There are homeless shelters, there are food banks, there are plenty of places where you can pack gifts for kids that may not be able to have a Christmas, may not have a family, may not have money. You could deliver meals. You can go to the elderly care homes and just spend time talking with some of the people that may not have family, or maybe their family forgot about them and they don't have anybody to talk to them. All that means a whole bunch to others. So maybe just going and pouring into others this holiday season may be something different but beneficial for you. Okay, so the fourth thing I would suggest is that you create new traditions. Let's say whatever your traditions were before, let's say you had a grandmother that always had everybody together, and it was known that this is what we do every single Thanksgiving. Well, maybe it's time for you to create a new tradition. Maybe you get your family together and do something new that you can pass down to the future kids and generations, so that the family traditions can continue to go. Maybe instead of everybody having something at your house, if your kid is away in college, maybe you guys pack up everything and cook at your child's apartment or dorm. My mom did that one year, and it really meant a lot. I lived all the way up north, and it was a snowstorm, and she came all the way up there just to spend Thanksgiving with me. And she cooked, she put out the pots and pans, and we had a full-blown Thanksgiving meal, and it was wonderful. So we created a new tradition just for that year. It's not something that we did ongoing, but it was something new, and it worked for that year. So think outside the box of other things that you can do outside of what you traditionally do. Okay, so number 5, do not spend over your budget or more than you can afford. Just because there are all these events and things around Christmas time, you don't have to do everything. Sometimes when individuals are depressed, they feel like if they spend money, then it will help cope or alleviate their depression, which is not always the case, because in the long run, you'll end up being more in debt, which can lead to depression in a whole different category. And if you're not financially able to do that, so try to get away from doing extra spending and just doing extra stuff, because there's different ways that people cope with loss or tragedy, tragic events. And spending during this time, overspending, is not a healthy way to cope. So put a budget together, stick with it, and make sure that you are very cautious about going over that budget. So next is self-care. During the holiday seasons, sometimes you're able to get away, go on vacation. If not go anywhere, you're able to have like maybe a few days off, at least during the actual holiday, if not the week before or week after. Maybe your kids are on vacation, and if you're a type that's always doing things and going and running and you haven't had time to think, take a day for you. Go get a massage, go get your nails done, go get your feet done. Well, maybe cold, but you know, just offering suggestions here. But if there's, maybe you put a little budget aside to get a purse that you've always wanted to get, or whatever the case is, do something. Maybe you like baking or cooking. Do something that's therapeutic for you. If you haven't went to the movies in a while, go to the movies. Go out with your friends. At least take a day to do some type of self-care. If you have experienced any type of loss of any kind, doing something for yourself can help maybe lift your spirits a little bit. So no, it's not the do-all. You can't take your feelings away from just this one day, but every little thing that you do can help towards the bigger goal and the bigger picture. All right, so the next thing, the 7th thing, is something that may be a little bit hard to do. It may be a little bit challenging, but I just challenge you to do it, and I encourage you to do it, and that is to smile. A simple smile. It takes more muscles and energy to frown than to smile. So even though you may not feel like smiling, just try to smile. Just put a smile on your face periodically throughout the day. And again, it may not cure the whole entire situation, but every little step that you do can make a difference. Sometimes a smile can make somebody else's day. But for you, the more that you smile, it will exude positive energy. Just look at yourself in the mirror and just smile. You'll probably start cracking up because you're thinking, why am I smiling at myself in the mirror? Do something like that to lift your spirits, okay? Alright, so finally, the 8th thing, last but not least, I would recommend that if you feel like you're in a position where during the holidays you're really not in a healthy mindset, you feel like you're really not yourself, you feel like you can't get out of bed, you can't move, you're feeling maybe suicidal, you're feeling like you're not able to just cope, my final suggestion, and it's probably the most important one, I would say that you need to seek professional help. There are therapists available to help you through this time. I would suggest that you find somebody that is professionally trained to handle someone that is going through a loss or depression, or if there's something specific that caused the loss, maybe you can, like if it was a tragedy or something, seek professional help, because although there is a period that you should go through, if you stay for a very, very prolonged time in that period, or if you feel like you're going further down, then you definitely need professional help. There are a few websites that you can go to for help. I would suggest a website called psychologyday.com. Outside of your insurance company, you can always check with your insurance company. You can also check with your employee assistant. So let me go back. Okay, I'm going a little too fast. So a lot of times your job, if you work for a company that offers insurance, they partner with employee assistance programs where you can get free therapy. So talk to your human resource department and see if they have EAP assistance. If so, call that number and they'll give you some referrals for free help. If not, then definitely through your insurance company, contact them and maybe find somebody in your area. And then there's also a website you can go to called psychologytoday.com, and you can find somebody in your area that takes your insurance, and they have all these little things that you can click on to get somebody specifically that you're looking for. But I definitely advise you to do that, okay? I really, really, really want you guys to enjoy your holiday season. I pray that you guys have a blessed, safe holiday season, and just remember that to keep the holiday spirit with you, not only during the holidays, but throughout the remaining, I'll say 11 or 10 months of the year. Okay, you guys have a blessed new year, and I'll see you soon.